So our new topic is Python strings. As we have already discussed that how strings work and how we can use string in Python. So any text or any word which is wrapped up into a inverted comma, single or double quotes whatsoever, it's called string in Python or any programming language you are using. So Python in string in Python are surrounded by either single and double marks or double quotation marks, whatever you want to say. Hello is the same as hello. If you have any word in single quotation mark or double quotation marks, then it will be a same output. It doesn't matter if you put one or two inverted commas, but you have to follow the consistency. If you are starting with double inverted comma, you should end with the double inverted comma, otherwise it will display an error. But these both output are same. It doesn't matter how much the single or double quotation mark you use, it will be having the same result. Quotes inside quotes. If you want to have a quotation mark inside a quotation, uh, between a quotation marks, we have quotation marks, and inside with which we write uh, our output, and it's functional. So what if we need a quotation mark inside our quotation, because we have Python and in which we have to write string inside a quotation mark. But what if we need quotes like inverted commas like this, apostrophe, as we can see, say that inverted commas like this, thus it will be displayed as these are not displaying on the screen, it's are just using for displaying the text. How it will work? Let's run it and see. You can see that the outermost in inverted commas will be not mentioned in the output as it is a part of the function print. So whenever we need to print out any string, it is mandatory to put inverted comma, either single or double. We have to put one of them. And after that, if you need any inverted comma or double inverted comma or single inverted comma, you should put it inside the string. So here is one rule which you have to follow. If you want double inverted comma in output, then your string should be starting with single inverted comma. Otherwise, it will be displaying some error. Like if you have double inverted comma and you have just surrounded a word with double inverted comma, now it can display an error for you. You can see that. So either if you are using double inverted comma to wrap up the string, you have to need to put single inverted comma to wrap up your keyword which you want to highlight. That way you will never see any error. Otherwise it will display an error and your program will be very so assign string to variables. Assign string to variables. We have done already, but we are going to go deeper into strings because we have a lots of topics inside our Python string. So we have to learn every stuff. So I'm starting with the basic, which we already have covered, but for better understanding, we have to do that. So assign string to a variable. So for assigning string to a variable, we just need to cut any variable and give it to a variable, and we have to use double inverted comma if you have any single inverted comma inside your variable or your value. And now we doesn't need it as we have already declared the variable with double inverted comma. It means that whenever we have to call the variable, it's already a string. So for storing a string, you already need a double inverted comma. Either you are directly writing the whole string inside your this is make some error, whole string inside your print function, Either you have a variable which is saving your string. So let's see what will be the answer. If we run that, what will be the answer? It's already all right. It's all right. And we are just use x value to perform this particular output. So what if I put x comma x? What will be the answer? What will be the output? It's all right. It's all right. And yeah, this is the way you can use variables to store strings. So we only need one thing, and if we run that, it will work. Yeah, it's great and it's working in better way. What if you need multi-line strings? Like most of the time you write paragraph, you have to store a lot of paragraph in your program. In Python agents, when we are building AI and ML models, we particularly store many line of text in our variables, not just one single word or double words. We need multiple values in a single or multiple lines. So for that, here is triple quotation marks come. If you want to store anything and it's go out of the second line, third line, you can see that if we click on this and it's on double second line, it's going white because it's no more the part of this variable. In Python, if you click enter and you shift the content in second line, it's no more the part of variable. So for considering many line of text in same variable, we need to put uh, 6 inverted comma, 3 upper, 3 lower. And if you put many text as much as possible, then there will be no error. You can put many line, you can comment, do as you want. Everything will be displayed and it's now fully functional. Every structure will be followed, every indent will be considered, and everything will be exactly same as you are putting here. So you have to consider this. So you can see that here is a space inside our output. Now let's move towards next thing, our three single quotes. We have used triple double quotation marks. You can also use single quotation marks. It's mandatory to use the same quotation marks as you start with, and you should end with the same quotation marks. If we run that, what will be happen? It's working. And if you're using single inverted commas, so single quotation marks inside your multi-line tags, it will still work. And this is the cool stuff which I think Python has. So let's move on towards next thing. Note that in the result, the line break are inserted at the same position and in the code. So I don't know what they have written here. I am just trying to understand what I can do with the program they have given to us. So strings are arrays. What are arrays? If we have to know about array, it is a good topic which we have to focus. We can't skip this topic and we have to research about it, because once you understand how arrays work, your mind blows and you will easily understand the string, because string is an array. And what is an array? Let's find out if there is anything which we can see in a better way. So I don't see any good example. So we have to create one. We have to create one. Like just think like an array is a collection of items. Like a color box contains many individual colors: red, blue, black, orange. and pink etc. Purple also. Any collection which contain items is just similar to array. If you have um, apple, you see that apple is a collection of letters A, P, P, L, E, apple, which makes it a collection of letters. So, what we can do, if you want a specific location in your collection, if you have uh, a box which contains 10 items, then when you tell someone to pick the stuff which is on position 1, then there will be one thing, right? So in string, if you tell pick the location 1, then what should be the answer? You probably say app A, but is it is P because it's an array. Okay, it's an array of character. A string is an array of character. String is collection of characters. Characters is a single stuff. Multiple character makes a string. And here is something wrong happening. We think that but in array numbering start from 0. So if you are putting something like 1, then it's count from 0. So our on 0 position he is there, at 1 position P is there, and at 2 position P is there, and at 3 position L is there, and at 5 4th position E is there. So if we give it 0, what will be the answer? Comment me down below. I will come in few seconds. So A, which is the correct answer, and I hope you understood how the stuff is working. So that's why it's work. That's way how Python string works. Python string is a collection of characters you have to keep in mind. So now we can understand if we put 4, then what will be the answer? Answer will be E, because starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 4 position we have E. So hopefully you have understood. And for positioning, getting position, we have put uh, square bracket, and inside we have to mention the position. Now loop through a string. We will discuss loop in depth, but think of that running a stuff again and again. In programming, we have a function called loop, which uh, run a stuff again and again. So you can see that for x in bananas, it is the syntax how we write a for loop. So we are telling that our x will be changed with the uh, number of character inside our this string. So we have around 6 characters. So our loop will be run 6 times. And what will be the answer? It will print first B, then A, then N, then A, then N, then A, then A. So it runs 6 times. That's why you see it's in different line, because in same different time it's displaying different values. So if we put space, then you will see a line gap, because it will count every stuff mentioned inside the inverted commas. Either it's word, text, character, space, anything special, characters, etc. Everything will be count, and it will think will be used as number of loop iteration. So we will discuss looping that. So don't worry about that. Just for understanding, we have run this program, but in the loop section, we will be in depth dealing with how loops work. So now it's time to have the string length function. As we have tag function, now it's time to explore the length function. Length function is its name, its work is same. So if we run this, what will be the answer? Obviously, banana will be the answer. But if you want to see how many characters are there, then you can use a length function. For the length function, you have to just write len and then put this. And if you run this, you will see 6. And in array, there is a different thing, and in counting, it's a different one. So when we start counting in array, it's obviously 6 items, but positions are different. Means it's just simple as confusing, but hopefully you will understand. Like its position is 0, but if we count it, it's 1. And its position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Their positions are starting from 0, but when they will be counting, they will be starting with 1 and goes on until finish the stuff inside our collection or the string. So hopefully you understand how length work. Now it's time to get better understanding of checking string. Python is the best language which has a variety of functions which makes our life much more easier than other programming language. So now, if we want to filter any text in our sentence, there is a easy function in our Python programming language. That's why Python is more advanced and more useful for futuristic project development. So if you have any string like this one, which contains some sort of strings, means it contains lots of words, and as we have inverted commas, which means it's a complete one string. So this text variable store these all of the text inside it, and when if we need that, if we need to sort out some amount of word, is it inside this sentence or not, Python is very user friendly for that. So you just have to put the particular stuff which you want to filter throughout the sentence, which is free, and you just have to write in, means is it in the text variable. So if we run this, then it will pop up us an answer a boolean which called true, because it is inside the text. So this is the best use case of Python variables and Python filtering feature. So if you have a lots of text, like in lorem, if we get a lots of text from here, and if we copy all of the text from here, we just filters and see the programming in real function action. Like you have a lot of text in your AI or uh, ML, and you want to filter out some particular stuff in your programming. So you just need to see, is it inside the programs or not. So I will be putting here spec home. So you can see that this is a lot of text, and if I put this here and it is not in anywhere else, and if I put it for searching this particular text, so what should be the answer? The answer will be true. And this is the power of Python. You can see that it's sort out all of the text, all of the sentence in particular variable to check is it inside the variable or not. If we remove this and see is it working properly or not, then you can see that it's telling us false, and you can see that it's just dynamically uh, filtering out the whole text from this whole sentence. This is crazy, and this is the power of Python. That's why people use it for AI and machine learning projects. So use it in an if statement. So if and else use in the conditional statements, but for now to check more in depth of our filtering stuff, we have to see this function. So in this function, what is happening? It's just a common function to filter out, to check is it the text is present in the stuff or not. So this is a variable in which we know that, and we have a condition that if free in text, if free is present in the text variable, then you should print yes, free is present. Otherwise, you can go with another stuff. So here is the free present, and if we run this, then the answer will be yes, free is present. But what if we remove this free to fire and it doesn't have any free now in the sentence? What will be the answer? So the answer will be nothing, because we don't have any other condition which will be our default answer if this first condition is false. So for that, here is an easy syntax which called you just have to write else and no, free is not present. Yeah, that is very simple and easy way to write any conditional. If you have if statement, you should also have an else statement which will work defaultly when this statement not being correct or it's not true. So if we run this, then we will have this one, and we don't have free now in our tags. That's why when we sort it out, it doesn't see any free word in our variable, so it defaultly output us the answer that there is no free present in the sentence. But if we do that, then this first condition will be true, and it will found, and it will tell us yes, free is present in the sentence. So this is the way you can use uh, filtering in your sentences to identify if the keyword is in your sentence, in your database, in your whole stuff is present or not. So we have another one. Check if expensive is not present in the following text. So just take it down. So here what we are doing, expensive is not present in text. So if we run this, so what will be the answer? True. It's true because expensive is not present. What if we tell this expensive in text, which is used to sort the whole text, and this is correct. False is correct because we don't have any expensive word in this whole sentence. And here is another way to write it, not in. So if we already know that if the particular stuff is not in database, but we still want to try out uh, is it in the database or not, then we only have this function which we use to filter the whole database or whole content, which will tell us it should be not in the tags, but if it is, it will show us false. If it's not present, which is a good sign, it will show us true. But if you want to use this one, this is also okay, and you can go with that. But we have different scenarios in which we have to use different keywords to find out or to check is the tags in the sentence present in the sentence or not. So let's move forward. Use it in an if statement. So print only if expensive is not present. What this stuff tell us about? Let's see it. So the text variable contain this whole sentence, and we have a if statement. So if expensive is not present in text, then you should output a result that no, expensive is not present. So if we run this, we will have the same result as before, but in the different way. In the previous section, we discussed how to check out if the stuff is present in the sentence. If it will display the first condition. But in this condition, we are telling that it is not in this text. And if it's not, we have to print out this. If it is present, then the condition will be false and it will tell us that yeah, it's present. So for that, what should we do? We just should have to put this and it will do the rest of the stuff. And what we will tell, yes, is present. Yes, expensive. If we have expensive keyword, for now we don't have expensive keyword. So it will tell us no, expensive is not present. But if we have, then the output will be different. Then it will say that yes, expensive is present because the first condition will be false and second will be the true, because between these two one will be the true. So second one is true, so that's why it's running. So let's move on towards the exercise to see how much we have got understanding of the Python. So what will be the result of the following code? So we have already discussed about it. We have, if we have a string, it means it is an array of characters. So for now, what will be the result if we print x, which is a variable, this variable, and what will be the third position on the word string. So in string, in arrays, stuff start with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So I think C is the correct answer. And if we check that, it is because I already know some basic programming fundamentals and we have used this concept before, and that's why we are understanding what we are doing. Let's move on towards Python slicing strings. So what is the slicing? You can return a range of characters by using the slice syntax. So what the slice syntax do is just according to its own pronunciation, slice means piece. So we can get piece of our strings, we can give ranges, we can do whatever we want, and we will give the slice of the specific location you are cutting off it from. So if we do that, let's see, if we run this and see b is equal to hello world, then what will be the answer? That low will be the answer, and white is coming. So if we understand it is from starting, then you can see that our h is the 0 position, it's 1 and it's 2. So it's starting from 2 and it is going towards 2, 3, 4, and 5 it's ending. So it's not include the fifth position, but it is coming from the second position. So it will consider the content from 2 to 3. I hope I'm telling the right one. Otherwise, it can be wrong. I think it's the correct answer. If we give it 1, then 1 to 5, it will contain E also. So if that's happened, we are true. Yeah, it's correct. Note that the first character has index 0, as we have discussed this array starts with the location of 0, but in counting it starts from 1. So slice from the start. By leaving out the start index, the range will be started the first character. Get the character from the start to position 5 not included. So in this case, what we are going to do, so if you want to print out all this stuff till the fixed location, like in my case, I am not giving the starting point, but I am only giving the ending point. What it will do, it will print out all the stuff from start to the end position which we have fixed, give the fixed position. So if we run this, then it will print out hello, I hope. Yeah. So this is how it work. If we give 3, then it will start from the starting because we are not giving any very fixed value. So going towards the end. And it is same for this. If we give the starting point only and we don't specify the ending point, it will means it will consider all the stuff starting from here to ending. So you start from the second half and its go beyond the ending position, which is the exclamation mark. So this is how it works. We can also use minus signs, which means it will start from the opposite side, like -1, -2, -0, -1, -2, -3. What will be the answer? I am still a little confused. If you are already have the concept, you can tell me. Otherwise, let's run it and see what will be the answer. I think ORLD LD is the answer. So same exactly if we give the ending position -3, what it's mean? We are giving. Let's see that it's a little tricky. I think so. It's starting from this this and it's going beyond all of this stuff because we are not specifying the starting positions, meaning it will consider all of the stuff starting from the beginning and it will end up on the fixed location which we have given to it. To slice the to the end, which we have do that already, and negative indexing, which already we have discussed, but you can try out this one. So if we give this, it's not working. I think it should be work. If we give the both position in negative, then it still work, and it will work in other ways, which I think I don't want to learn. It's a little confusing. So the exercise is, what will be the result of the following code? So if you have a variable which contain a string and its value is welcome, and if we print um, in a way of ranging, what will be the answer? It's starting from 3. So 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. It's starting from 3 and goes to 0. Its answer will be 0. 0, 0, 0. I hope my answer will be correct. Hopefully it's correct. And your teacher is not a loser. He knows the stuff, right? So Python modify string. Python has a set of built-in methods that you can use on strings. So for that, why we use Python modify strings? Because sometimes we need uppercases, sometimes we need lower cases. If we want to get the stuff in uppercase, lowercase, then we can try out with that. So if you have a variable b and you want to get the uppercase of it for all of this stuff, then you can just try out this and put the function upper in front of your variable by using the dot, and it will convert into all the letters in capitalized form. And you can see that we have stored it in uh, lowercase and uppercase mixed, but its output is uppercase, all in uppercase, just because of this function. We can also use it for lowering the capitalized word. So if you have some word in capitalized form, but you want to make all of this stuff in lowercase, then you just have to use the lower function, which will just convert into all of the letter in lower form, and you can see that it's work in a better way. So let's move on towards next thing, which is about removing the white spaces. In many cases, in many stuff, time we need something which can remove our white spaces. If you have white spaces before your tags or after your tags, it will only remove these white spaces, not the white spaces between your words. For using that, we just have to write stripe, I think, and just remove it, and you will see the difference. If we have both, one with function and one without the function, you will see the difference. So you can see that this upper one has some indent or spaces, white spaces, but the lower one doesn't have the white spaces. I'm just confusing you and doesn't see the result yet. So it's taking time. Why is it taking time? If we run this both, answer should come. You can see that it has a lot of white spaces before and after, but the below one doesn't contain its white spaces before or after the text start and ends. So this is how Stripe works, and Stripe remove the white spaces. Replace string, which is another big function which is used to replace your particular stuff in your variable values. So you have hello world, but what you want to do, you just want to change hello with jello. So you just have to remove one stuff. You have to put what you want to replace and mention what you have to replace with. So it will replace the stuff with the stuff you want to replace. I am replacing H with J. So now the hello is jello. And you can also use multiple stuff, I hope. And if you do it, then it will hello is now jello. And yeah, it's good. Wo, if we remove W, A with uh, O with A, and if we want A, then you can see that it will remove all the O and replace it with A. The hello world. So this is the best way you can replace any stuff in your string to match what your desired output. Split string. So as its name split, it's do the splitting stuff. So you have hello world and you want to split in different strings. So you just have to replace split it. So just split and split them with comma. We don't have comma inside our this word, but we are doing that. Split a splitter, so it's going to split the stuff. I think split spelling is okay, everything is okay. What is making an issue? Let's run it. It's still not working. I think it should be double inverted comma. So if we run this, what will be the answer? Is still not working. The string method into substring, it will convert into substring. So I have written the, oh, that's my bad. I, I don't close the small bracket, that's why it's happening. You can see that split is not split it into two different letters. It is one single word. What is happening? Okay, if we use this one, that's indicate that from here it will be a different string. So yeah, I got the stuff. If you have all that, then if you don't separate it with comma, then it will not a different word, it will be the part of the second word. So what is the best practice? You should put space. Before that, you have to remove the commas because we don't contain a lots of comma in our programs, but we have spaces between our words. So it will just split the stuff into two different strings. So string methods. We can learn the string method detail in the reference section. But for now, let's move on towards the exercise and learn about it. What is the correct syntax to print a string in uppercase letters? So for that, we just need to put upper function. It will capitalize all of this stuff in our string. Now it's time to learn concatenation. String concatenation. To concatenation are combined to string, you can use the plus operator. We have already done, but for now, just for better understanding, let's move forward and learn it. You have two different variables which contain same data types, and you want to have them in single line of display. Then you just have to need to put plus operator which will combine these both tags. But here is an issue which will not put the stuff, not put any space between that. We have 2 to 3 ways to fix out that. We just have to use separator, which is a function where we will be telling that separate them with space. You can say that if it's work, then good. If it doesn't work, we can do another thing, fix out this. So it's not working. So the best another way to give it another plus and just put a space between them and plus them, and it will definitely put a space between these two words. It will be a best practice to do this way, but you can also fix this by doing this. But in most of the scenarios, you are not going to put space in your variables by going manually and checking the stuff, but you will be doing something like we have done already before, like this one, which is the best way, which is only happen on the display side, but in actual database we contain the data in this format. So this is the best practice to create a concatenate word. So you can see that this W3 school already mentioned the best way, and which I already have done. So my mastery level is going beyond the imagination. So you can also follow me to get the same result. So this section also ends. So in the last we have we have an exercise. What is a correct syntax to merge variables x and y into variable z? So in variable z, if you want to have the x and y, then you just have to, if it has the same data type, then we can do this and it will merge the stuff which already we have done, and it's not a big deal. And in the end, coding challenge will be the best thing which we are going to do, and it will help a lot for us to actually learn the stuff. So Python format strings. String format. As we learned in the Python variable chapter, we cannot combine strings and numbers like this. We cannot do the stuff like this because these both are different in data type. So the best practice is to concatenate or add or put plus operator between only the same data type variables, not the different data type variables. So in this case, we have a variable which contains a string 36 number, and another variable we have text which contains string and it's adding a number to it. So it will display an error because it is a different data type, which is integer, and it is a string, and both, if we combine both in a same variable, it will show up an error. So if we remove it from here and put it here, so then what will be the answer? So if we still, it will be display an error. It will only fix if you also convert it into string. So we don't want to convert any stuff into string, and because we cannot go to the database manually and doing the stuff and converting the stuff into string. So the best case to resolve this issue is just put, if you can do that, you should go for it and put comma instead of plus. If you have different data type, if you have 7, then you should do that. It is still an integer and it is still a string, and both are working now in one print function, and it is displaying without any error. It's just because we are using comma instead of plus. Plus will make an error because it both are different data types, so we can't add different data type stuff in Python, but we can do display both of them by separating them with commas. So, but we can combine string and number by using fstring. Here is another way to do this stuff. So Python has another function which is responsible for doing this kind of stuff. So if you want to print out any string, any integer in your uh, variable, if you want to store the another variable which contain different data type in your string variable, so you can use the f function for that. If we put f, and we can now put our variable inside the string while using the curly brackets, and if we run this text, what will be the answer? That it will display, yeah, it's displaying without any errors. So what this method is about, fstring. Fstring was introduced in Python 3.6, and it's to um, used to use different data types in different data types. So if you have string and you want to save integer in your string without it affecting its data type and maintaining its data type, you can do that by using the fstring method. So it is the best way to have different data type in same way. So placeholder and modifiers. Placeholder and modifiers. What are the stuff? What are these stuff? Mm. So this is also called a placeholder. Means if you update the stuff, it will update automatically as it is using as a placeholder. So it's called placeholder, and you can use it for many ways. Like if you have a discount, if you have any other stuff, you can also perform any arithmetic operations. If I multiply it with 6 and if I have 9, then the answer will be 54. You can see that. So basically now it's a more dynamic, and you can perform any mathematical or Python stuff inside your these curly brackets. So let's move on towards the exercises. If x totals 9, what is the correct syntax to print the price is $9.00? However, I don't know, I have skipped this section, but I can answer this. You can see that we need 2f. 2f means two data, two numbers after the point. So in this case, we need two numbers after the point. So I think this one is correct. If we run this is the correct answer. If you got wrong, you can check this one and practice it. So let's move on to the next section. Now it's time to learn Python escape characters. So what is escape characters? So for that we use backslash. And why we use it? So the perfect use case for this escape is this one. So if you want to, which we have already faced in our starting uh, programs, but we just ignore this for that time. But now I think it's the best time to discuss about it. So you have double inverted commas, and inside your double inverted comma string you contain a variable which is wrap up inside another double inverted comma. If we run this out, and it will display an error and it will not run any stuff. So for fixing out this, we have escape function. So just use escape. I think here it's something like this, and you just have to put it like this. If you put this backslash, then it will work. So it is the best way you can see how we can use double inverted comma, and it's also for single inverted comma. For if you have outermost stuff in double inverted comma, and if you want to have in single inverted comma, it will doesn't display an error. It will only useful the escape function is only useful when things not run escape characters. Sorry, it will only useful when we can't run a stuff or we can't store a stuff with same inverted comma. If you have the outermost uh, inverted comma is single, then if you have another inverted comma which is also single inside your this variable, it will display an error. So here we can use the backslash, which is called escape character in programming in Python, and it will work and it will have the single inverted comma in the text. So yeah, it's the best use case of it. So let's move on towards next thing, which is to fix this problem, use the escape character. We already have done it is for double inverted commas, and we also have used it for single inverted comma. And you can use and explore these stuff which has good use cases in our programming. But for now, it's not important. But in future, we will be using it. Like I think this one, if we have backslash t before starting our sentence, what it will do, it will put some indents before our letter. So if you put another one, then it will go away from the starting point. So yeah, everything has its own use case. Escape characters, we have many escape characters. These all are called escape character. You can use it by yourself to get a better understanding of how these stuff are working. So it's time to learn the string methods. So we already have used the few methods or string modifiers, and for now you can use these all of this stuff. Let's try out. I don't understanding what these stuff are about. So we should have a variable which will contain hello, and what if we put dot capitalize capitalize. The syntax is okay, or I think the word is not okay. Capitalize. I write it wrong. Capitalize. You can see how good my English is, and I'm writing Python. What's happened? Nothing happens. If we go for it and see how it's work, it works in this way. If we put this hello world and if we run this X will store. Oh, I can understand that it's capitalizing the starting mode. The it is. I don't see any use case it right now, but in future I think most of these are useful in the future. But for right now, it's not in good. So let's move forward. We have Python string exercise. So we can do many of them. You can see that the third position is 0, 1, 2, 3 is C. It's correct. And if we go forward, exercise Python string. Use the length function to print the length of length function. Symbol bracket, variable name, run it. And I can do all of this stuff and everything will be correct. But the best way is to do it by yourself. It's your time to do the stuff. We only do the coding challenge. So I can see how much I have understood the stuff. So we have a coding challenge of Python string. The challenge is to test your understanding to create, slicing, modify, and formatting string. It contains lots of stuff. Create a variable tags with value of hello world. So tags is equal to hello and hello world and thing is will happen and print the character from index. It's only slicing or split slice as I see think so. Print what we have to do. I just forget it. This bracket. I hope I'm doing right. X and to position to 5 position. Small bracket. Print in uppercase. Print x dot upper. And in last, create a variable name with the value Python. X is we have a name. A variable which contain Python. We need a f string, f string, f string, f string to print. We need a Python using the name variable. Using the name variable, I love Python. How we will do that? We will do that to print f string. We need f string to print this thing. So okay, we can use f now print, and we can use f, and we should put this and I love. And for Python, we should put a space, not a space, yes, space plus this and name and this. And hopefully we have done everything right. And let's check the code. Does we have arrived at the mastery level or not? There are a lots of issues. Print the character from 2 index to 5 is wrong. Why it's wrong? So actually we have a variable named text one. Another print in uppercase. I also think that we have only a variable text. So it's my bad. Print using f string is wrong. Why it is wrong? I don't think I have done it wrong way. Yeah, I already have not put in the small runtime error, but have to be done because I have uh, many issues. Print using an F3 is not correct. Why it's not correct? Everything else is okay, so we have to check the solution. string. Print F. What the is happening? I have the same. It's a legendary move by me. You can see what level of mastery I have. I'm doing the basic issues. So if you have done right, then well done, and we have completed Python strings section. Hopefully, you are continuing learning Python, and we will move forward. And we will be actually going forward toward learning ML in other libraries of Python. And yeah, it's really fun and really enjoying the journey. And in the end, hopefully, we will be the best Python and AI engineer in coming up months or weeks. So stay tuned with me.